Hello, and welcome to Nonfinito BG, where I do miniature painting tutorials and board gaming entertainment. Today we are painting the White Lion from Kingdom Death Monster. Here the miniature is already primed and zenithilled, and I'm just pre-mixing the washes I want to start with. I do things a little different around here. While others might incorporate oils in their miniature painting practice, I use oils exclusively. Here, I use washes to cover the miniature completely. Proceed to wipe off the excess. This process will leave a stained effect and a good starting point for the project. I then take a clean, dry brush and smooth out the leftover pigment on the model. Umber to the base under the lion. And now some yellow ochre. Mixture of yellow ochre and warm white on top of the rocks. And pure warm white for the spot highlighting. I now move on to painting the claws now that I still have access to them in the beginning stage. Here I apply warm white on the raised muscular areas on the white lion. clean brush, I feather out the edges to blend it in. To add a little visual interest, I add a tiny bit of yellow ochre to the warm white before repeating the process for the back and the hind legs. Here is where I'm going to start my push-pull process, beginning with a dark gray wash for the crevices in between the muscles. Then, with a clean brush, soften the transitions. Now, with a mix of warm white and deep yellow, I start to dry brush the top of the mane. I also dry brush the bottom of the mane, but add a little gray to cool down the paint since this part of the mane is in shadow. I also add it to the front leg that is directly underneath in shadow, and the under parts not directly being hit by the light. go back to the warm white and deep yellow to dry brush all the top areas exposed to the light. Taking the time here to not neglect the ears and mouth. Because of the long drying times compared to acrylic paints, I tend to hop around the areas of the model frequently. I even have multiple models I work on at any given time, switching between them as I wait for layers to dry. Here I move back to rendering the base before I continue feathering out the brush strokes on the lion's back. I'll admit, at the time of this project I was not very knowledgeable when it came to glowing effects and object source lighting. I've gotten better since. This was not such a great attempt at having the eyes glow. Here I work more on the highlights. I'm using a warm white wash and applying it to the much smaller areas where the light would be hitting directly. Then once again, feather with a clean dry brush. forest. I'm sure you are seeing a pattern here, flip-flopping from the lights and the darks, focusing on making the surface area I'm working on smaller and smaller as I go. Now adding some tall grass to the base, a fitting addition, if you know, you know. Some landscaping to make it look a little bit more natural. This project is coming to a close. I hope you enjoyed this painting of the white lion for Kingdom Death Monster, and maybe even learned something to take with you for your hobby painting. If so, please feel free to like and comment, and subscribe to the channel for future videos as I attempt to paint my Kingdom Death mountain of plastic. Thank you for watching.